Hi everyone, this is Nick Colin at IGN.com. I'm here with Anthony Gallegos.
Hello.
We are looking at Dota 2 right now. Today we're actually looking at Invoker. He's one of the more infamous Dota characters.
Easily probably the least user-friendly.
Yeah, he's got a really interesting skill set, but probably the hardest skill set to learn.
So explain the way his Q, W, and E's work.
Okay, so his Q, W, and E's are respectively called Quas, Wex, and Exort, which is convenient, right? Each one, when you press it, adds an orb. You'll see he's got 3 orbs around him right now. All of those are Wex orbs. When they're active, they give him passive benefits. Wex gives him a flat attack speed and movement speed boost for each orb. Quas gives him HP regen for each orb, and Exort gives him damage for each orb.
And he can change those out.
That's right. You can change them out on the fly. There's no cooldown, no cost, so it's just anytime he wants. And then his ultimate, Invoke, triggers his current orbs to create a spell. So the really popular build right now is to level Wex first, max that out first, and have a little bit of Quas for HP regen during downtime. And that gives him access to his probably the strongest combination, which is Tornado, which you just saw, and EMP.
What are those actually, like, how does he activate those spells?
It's just you have the orbs out, so you can just tap them. If you want like one of each, you just tap QWE, and then you press, I think it's D for Invoke at the moment. Or actually, maybe it's R for Invoke, and then D to use the spell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it's R for Invoke and D and F to use the spells. So you can actually save a spell sort of in the background. You can actually have 2 spells active, so it's D and F. It depends on what level your ult at. But it's really complicated. If it doesn't sound complicated enough right now, I'm doing it wrong, because it's really complicated.
So obviously he's very customizable, that you can play
is.
him to the way you want to do it. If you want him to be more maybe a support character as opposed to an especially aggressive one.
Buff that will increase an ally's attack and movement speed by quite a lot. He's also got his Tornado, which is a really good support spell because it locks enemies in position. EMP is sort of a support spell because it damages an enemy's mana pool as well as their damage in an area. If you wanted for him to just be a carry, Wex, you could feasibly just stack int and damage and Wex because he's got really high attack speed.
But obviously any new player that wants to try an Invoker is going to need to read some guides and kind of get a feel for, because the game isn't going to necessarily walk you through how to combine his Q, W, and E into spells. You kind of need to know that.
And the way you build him is really determines what his role is. He's so flexible that his item build is probably much more important for him than most other casters out there, because that will sort of determine what he focuses on.
I mean, even during the time that we've seen him playing, he switched out the spells that he's using multiple times.
Yeah. Right now he's got Sunstrike, which is for when you've got 3 Exort. It's a global attack. You can actually cast it on anywhere on the map. It's got like I think a 4 or 5 second delay before it actually hits the ground. It deals a big chunk of damage in a small area. He's very flexible.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so that's Invoker. Clearly that's not all of Invoker. There's a lot more to him. And you can find out more about him on IGN.com.